Oh boy, I guess we're doing this today, isn't it? Okay. Let's start with the basics, okay? So, we have two characters. We have Ryu, we have Morrigan, and today's discussion, or what I'm gonna try to explain is, who is the better character? Is it Ryu, or is it Morrigan? And, spoiler alert, it's Ryu. So, let's begin with the basics. So, I believe that Morrigan has a better assist than Ryu. Like, way better assist than Ryu. And the main reason is because of that. And you're gonna ask me, what exactly? Well, she tracks. That's right. Morrigan says tracks. It doesn't matter what direction your trajectory is facing, she's gonna shoot her firebolts at the opponent every time. Ryu is like, he's gonna shoot his fireball not at the opponent, but in the direction your trajectory is facing. And because of that, and sadly, Ryu falls apart as a support. Unless, of course, you start with a like this, it's gonna do that. But if you cross someone and you're facing that direction, it's gonna whiff. The only way for this to not happen is to do a move that will make you face your opponent. If you have that, then you're fine. Ryu can then become as good as Morrigan as assist. Which in my opinion is not very good, so Morrigan is a better assist, Ryu is not a better assist. Okay, so moving on. Who has more damage? Ryu. No fun. There's no way to argue that. So let's try to compare. I gotta try. Yes, 27 billion combo, 28, 33 billion. That's actually a lot. 33 billion with Baroque in 3 meters. That's a lot. That's a lot. So, what can Ryu do with the same resources? Ooh, I think a lot more. A lot more. I missed the combo, but you get the idea. And I could have just spent 1 meter. I could have just spent a single meter. In fact, let's do that. Okay, I fucked it up. Whoops. Come on, man. Well, that's 31 billion damage. 30 billion. Oh, that's a lot. And Morrigan did 33 billion damage with 1 Baroque and 3 meters, which is it's still pretty good. But in terms of raw damage, Ryu just wins. Why a long shot? And Morrigan sadly doesn't have a way to combo that much, huh? I mean, she can do this with her super. can do that. She can do that, but she still get like 18 billion, 22 billion. It's pretty hard. It's really situational, like in the corner at least. Not saying it's useless or anything, but it is what it is. So, damage-wise, Ryu wins, hands down. So, Morgan is a better assist, Ryu has more damage in general as a character. You could say that Morgan can just use her ability to bar and do more damage. Well, you can do that too, so it doesn't matter. So, who has better neutral? This is kind of a tricky question. So let's address the elephant in the room. Well, who has better neutral, who has better pressure, I should say. This little situation where your opponent is jumping. This creates a very unique scenario that only two characters share. And those two characters, I mean, the other character is German one, but she also happens to be a top tier, #1 character in the game. No one would contest that. Well, maybe some people would, but who cares? So that's 25 billion damage out of a single conversion in the air. Which is pretty good, not gonna lie. But it's still 3 meters. Of course, this is gonna count like a lot. It's gonna count a lot, like in those situations where you feel like, oh, I could have won if I done that. And Ryu can only do this, or you think. But he can still do it. Okay, I did 2 growths. My bad. I shouldn't have done that. I looked down. But he can still do something like this. He can still create that pressure. So it's not like his pressure is in existence. Oops. Where? Just stand there, yeah. He can still create this pressure. He can still combo out of it. Something that Morrigan actually can do. Well, she can do it. She actually can. See? She can do it more reliably. The only difference with Morrigan and Ryu in that regard is that, #1, that fireball won't disappear no matter what, unless you hit it with another fireball or move with higher priority. Yes, with Morrigan, that fireball will disappear the moment you hit her. If you get hit like it beforehand, before that fireball get closer, she just lose that fireball pressure. And she kind of needs to do that a lot. So she's kind of reliable. She relies a lot in the heroic situations. As where Ryu is like, I don't need to rely on that. I can just Tiger Need my Hadoukens pretty safe. It had very difficult conversions, but conversions nonetheless. The other thing is that Ryu can just do retreat. His retreat 5H, or jumping H, to Tatsumaki. Like, this little change in directions is way stronger than people will give him credit to. This will cover your exit and it will give you pressure. Like you're trying to punish. See what I mean? That's something that Morrigan doesn't have. That's something that Morrigan doesn't have by any means. So it's like their pressure is completely different. The way that they play neutral is different. Like very alike too, but it's different. The other thing is that Ryu can easily get inside your zone just by doing this. Or this. Like pressure and neutral, they're pretty balanced out. I think that they are better than each other in certain areas, but overall they are pretty much the same. They're not gonna get the same amount of reward. I mean, Morrigan gets better rewards for very little interaction because of her drill kick, because of this move. That move alone makes Morrigan really good. But she has some weaknesses of her own. One of her main weaknesses is the fact that she, sadly, she is very inconsistent. Like that. Like she will miss that in a lot of characters. She has to be really close to get this hit. So she can be very inconsistent with moves, like she's just gonna get the hit. It has something I will. She's gonna get the hit a lot of the times, but she will also have to like pray that doesn't happen like that. She has to be very committing to doing 1, 2, 3. Like that's her strength. 1, 2, 3. And she has to do it fast. It's not like she can. Oh, I'm gonna lay the moves. You're gonna 1, 2, 3. Like that's the most. That's the most you can do. And sometimes it just doesn't work. See? Like it still has to be pretty fast. And she's very susceptible to getting like with advanced guard in this, like in here. Set on guard all. Advanced guard. If I do this will whiff every fucking time. Okay. But none of her. So I have to commit to this a lot. She can even do. She has a lot of trouble with that. She's like, okay. See what I mean? Ryu can always do that. Like this is stronger than you think because Morrigan cannot do it. Like even if you get advanced guard in these situations, like oh, I can still cross him. Morrigan can't do that. See? Like it's impossible. It's impossible for her to do that. So it's like her pressure. It's a little bit. She's a bit. Her pressure when getting the advanced guard is kind of inferior in some ways. And Ryu doesn't really need to commit to anything, so it's like who's better in general. Like in these situations, I would say that Morrigan can get you the hit more often, than Ryu. But Ryu can keep up. He can still do stuff that Morrigan is weak to, and Morrigan is like she just has to hold it. Like, okay, I have to hold this. Like, that's fine. So, who's better in mix-ups? So, as I already said, look, Ryu has to do hit and out, the rapid fight. So this is good. So no matter the situation, he can always do this. Another low, he has a standing overhead. He can cross you up with his jumping age, which is really good. He can always do this. Like, this is extremely fucking strong. Morrigan can't do that with her. Well, she can do that with her strings, with her jumping age, if she delays it, but then it becomes kind of obvious. So it's like, okay, sure, whatever. So let's say Morrigan has this. Okay, so fourth knockdown. Oops. Okay, that's a 50-50. You do this. Whoops. And because she has so many overheads, she can actually... She can be, like, really... Yeah. Oh, there you go. That's what I wanted. That's what I wanted. So, she has really good overhead pressure, but most of the time, this is reactable. I mean, this is not reactable when you do this. This is not reactable. But you can react to, like, to this. I mean, not to the move itself, you can react with sound. Because it has a sound cue. So you can react to, oh, it's gonna be an overhead. How many? I don't know, but you know there's gonna be a lot of overheads. Just keep holding up. Keep holding up, like. Keep doing that. So, like, Morrigan has really good mix-ups. So the question is, what other mix-ups does Morrigan have that Ryu doesn't? She can cross up with his, but hey, she has to commit to this, and it's kind of obvious. And this situation, you're pretty easy, and you will easily just jump, and she can guard this like that. That is not true. So it's like, okay, I just chicken wire, that's fine. So, can Ryu do the same? Let's find out. Oh, so he has a fourth knockback. He has one. Let's see what else he can do in this situation. Overhead. Low. Oops. Come on. Instant crossover, which is a 50-50. So that's really strong. Can he do something like this? Let's see. Okay, let's see. Okay, he can do that. That is really fucking strong. That's really strong. The fact that you can cross over with that. You can actually just do the weak version, the L one. Okay, that doesn't work so far so well, but it is I mean, pressure wise mix-up wise I say that Ryu is on the same ground, maybe a little bit better than Morrigan depending on the situation. And it's not like he can still do it, at least from anywhere on the screen, and Morrigan has to commit to this. But the same, they have the same mix-ups. I say that Ryu is a little bit better because he has better options when it comes to the rock unblockable. So it's like, okay, Ryu has better mix-ups. Ryu has better ways to just hit you out of situations. So what other things do they have? Okay, so Morrigan has this, which mind you is real good. I say it's an amazing anti-air, but again, it activates Morrigan answer to pressure. Like, she's getting pressure, she's just gonna do it. She's gonna do that. So, what does Ryu has? He has this. An invincible DP that combos and gives you Oki. That's what he has. That's what he has. Oh, did I forget to mention something? Something about his Tatsu? That this causes a knockdown. Let's see if I get it. Let me get it again. There you go. So it's not like you're like, I'm... You can still move forward with that. And that's really good. So, in my opinion, as I said before, at the beginning of the video I say that Ryu is a better character overall. We can cover their supers, but I think it's kind of redundant, because this is better, in my opinion. It does more damage, and his level 3 combo into other stuff. If you know what you're doing, like that. I botched it up, but you get the drill. Morrigan. Every super. This is good for Chip. This is good for Chip. This is good for escaping situations where it's like, okay, I'm wasting a meter where Ryu can just do this. And he's safe. And the level 3 is like, yeah, it's invincible, it's safe on block. But it's still 2 meters. Really good reversal though. Really good reversal is really good for chess. Getting the kill when you need it, so like I said, overall, I don't think that Morrigan is better than Ryu. I think that they both are different characters. I think that they both fill a different niche. I do want to say though that Ryu, despite being the better character in general, you pretty much probably want to play Morrigan more because she's an overall better assist. And let's face it, they're both assist characters, and they're not exactly a point character. Unless you want to go that route, that's fine. You can do whatever you want. Again, I would say Morrigan, pretty good character, pretty good assist, one of the best assists in the game. Ryu, extremely good character, one of the best assists in the game too. Slightly worse than Morrigan's assist. Still, it's like, who cares? Seriously, who cares? I say Ryu is better with Blade because Blade doesn't really need to face a certain direction. He's always going to be in the right track, and he's going to cross you up in the ground, which will allow Ryu to mix you up as a sink. And the fact that Ryu has better DHC supers that will actually add to your damage. And that's pretty strong. Like Ryu is weaker, let's say in war situations, he's not really that great to get in to get a bar combo, as where Morrigan is like, oh, I'm just gonna bar and level 3 and I'll probably kill, or probably not, who knows. But I don't think that's like I don't think that justifies to play Morrigan over Ryu, because I don't consider bar to be that great of a mechanic. I know it's good, I just don't need it like in the compositions, the team compositions that I work with. I really don't need war, because it's just not as useful to me, because I'm gonna force people to mega crash before I even need bar to force that same situation where I will lose 1 meter, they will lose 2. Instead, I lose no meter, they lose 2. Which is why I don't use it that often. I obviously gonna use it to secure the kill if I have to, but as said, overall, Ryu is a better character. Morrigan is a great character, obviously too. Just not as strong. I think she lacks consistency. I think that her damage output, while being balanced out at the fact that she can get a hit more often in like the medium range, it justifies being a use over Ryu at times. But it's like, well, Ryu is just better. It's just a better character. Anyway, that's it for today. I hope you guys enjoyed, and hopefully, I'll see you the next time, which it's not gonna be at Frosty because I'm in Mexico. So, goodbye.